testing some new promo stuff happening here. So today what we're going to be doing is basically talking about the whole Madeline Pendleton situation. She is going viral for some other stuff, which I'm going to mention real quick in the intro, but we're not going to really be focusing on that. We're mostly going to be focusing just on the business side, and we're just going to look today primarily at these messages, but because we're also going to give the messages some context as well. So fucking basically, I'm going to wait and let this person speak for themselves on the pants issue. We're going to just watch part of that video, but and then we're going to read the messages, and I'll give you a walkthrough of the material put out so far, and all of the videos are linked in the description of this video. And that is from Kelp. And yeah, if this video comes down, it'll be because consent was revoked for me to cover it. But if consent remains for me to cover it, this bitch will say up. If it gets unlisted eventually, though, that's just what I do sometimes. But you know, um, anyway, fucking all right. So before we get to the actual story, I want to mainly cover, real quick, just to talk about my thoughts on why Madeline is Pendleton at. Did I say Madeline is Pendleton? I meant to say Madeline is trending. Madeline is trending as a topic right now on TikTok, particularly. Uh, would be, and I said TikTok, and would be particularly with there was some commentary made regarding some politics regarding Angela Davis. This is a terrible summary, but I just there's so much happened that I don't feel like I can accurately summarize all of it without giving you this brief overview, and not, and that's just so that way I don't say anything inaccurate. So, but anyway, fucking that, but yeah, so, and then there was commentary and conversation regarding after that as well. Now, it's not my community to speak on, of course, so um, I'm not here to say whether or not anything was, I feel, there are things that happened. I didn't watch all the Madeline videos, so I feel, first of all, let me lead with that. I didn't watch all of them because I was just like, yeah, I had shit to do. I watched some commentary about it, but I didn't just sit there and like let me go watch all. I was just like, I've been dealing with stuff, but just the stuff about the business messages, the text messages, when this came across my feed, I did read, I watched, I paid attention to that when this customer was speaking out. I paid attention to that. And so that's what made me want to talk about it. In regards to the other stuff, I really feel like a lot of people look at politics like it's a line, like you're left or you're right, A lot of people look at like it's just line, right? But for me, I see it as if it's a circle. It's all a fucking circle. And either way, it's the circle of colonialism because under the constructs of the United States government that we live in, whether or not you vote for the left or the right, you're not respecting tribal sovereignty. All I really care about is tribal sovereignty. I don't really respect the government. But that's just me. I don't like Republicans, I don't like Democrats, I don't like the left, I don't like the right. And then it's just like when we get to theoretically shit, like theorics, God, fuck, I can't speak. Theoretically, theory, fuck. Um, when we get into that shit, it's like, I don't know, man. Um, Theoretically, a lot of the problems I have, like, when we start critiquing like every social movement, the issue is it's all under the confines under colonialism. So there's criticism for all of it, and no one really likes to accept that. And um, I don't know. I think people would rather uphold their version of these constructs that they've been holding on to because it's all they know, than let that go and focus on how we can transition the means of production into indigenous control. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. That's just my politics where I stand. I stand on tribal sovereignty. Yay. And in that process, though, I can see why some people on certain comments, I think people shouldn't be saying that shit. Uh, bringing up when people were bringing up the partner, for example, just to be like, your partner is, that's fucked up for me to say. I'm so sorry. Well, I was just gonna say some people are literally over here like, oh, your partner is dead, and bringing shit up, and I don't know if this is true or not. People are bringing up the fact that he may have committed suicide. I don't know if that happened or not. I think that's fucked up. So if you're doing all that, and I know I've been somebody who literally has said I've had breaking points where I've told people, to go die and shit. And I feel like a lot of humans can get there, but I feel like there's a difference between having a breaking point with someone when things press you there versus being the type of person that just let's go tell every random people that and random creators that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, there's a difference. I don't know if there's one to you, or if that matters. You might think I'm fucked up for even saying, well, I can see how you could get there if there are reasons to break in a scenario, but, um, you know, I've been there. But but for people like doing this thing where they're throwing her partner in her face, that's fucked up to me. Y'all gotta stop that shit. There were some comments about her connection to Palestine and all of that. I can see now. On certain people are saying, well, she never technically lied, and that is true. I believe that may be true as far as I know. Where she never technically said, I have Palestinian heritage. Um, and so, that's valid. A lot of people are saying, well, no one should be mad because of that statement. I can see where you're coming from in terms of she didn't technically lie, and that the reasons people are mad is because of our own connotations. However, I will say, well, and I've seen this when I said I didn't watch Madeline Pendleton videos, I meant I didn't sit there and go watch all of the communist Angela Davis commentary. But I have seen her on my For You page before. I don't follow her. Um, and in my For You page, I feel like, previously I've seen her speak about how she has Palestinian family. And other people were saying, in other commenters, and I know I've seen that for myself. And so other commenters were bringing that up, saying, well, she knew what she was doing when she was saying she has Palestinian family when she uses her proximity to it. um, Particularly when it comes to invalidating other people, that is something that I can see why people are upset about. So on that, I would say it could be tokenizing. I wonder if talking about my own father is tokenizing. You know what I'm saying? And I will show you a picture of him later. Fucking, but could be. Part of, it's a weird line, but it's like, but for me, it's like, if you marry into a community and then you try to claim that that community is your family and you leave people to believe that you are related to these people and you don't clarify what that connection is that it's by marriage, it's not. Because when you think relatives, you think family, think lineage, you think shared ancestry. And it can mean marriage too, obviously. But when you talk about my family, it's very rare that you get like this fucking. For me, I feel like it's very rare, um, I know that a lot of people, that they're when they get married, their families are combined. They will say my family, and it's about their family in laws. It's about they're all family now, right? On a certain level, I get that, but on another level, when it comes to ethnicity that you don't have to claim that as your family in context of trying to associate more proximity to it and arguing things. I feel like it's one thing to discuss it as it relates to your life or to explain something about you or what you're doing or what you're involved in, but to use your marriage to, or I don't know, but that part I could see why people have critiques on that itself, because we look at like Buffy St. Marie, for example. um a lot of people would say, because if an indigenous family adopts you, that is like our way, like, then you're indigenous, don't speak on it. However, some people are very upset with her because they feel that they were misled to believe she has different ancestry than what she has, right? Um, and so I'm just saying that I do think that when you're not upfront with your connection to communities currently facing genocide, um, that when people who are indigenous, feel that you're not being upfront, that it's kind of valid because we do have to contend with um, protecting ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to dog pile or anything like that. It's just to say that some people are like, I don't see why people are mad at that. It's because it's about the fact that we are facing genocide. And when you're using the identity of people who face genocide, and I'm not to speak for Palestinian people, I can only speak for my own family or my own self, and I can't even speak for my own family, I can only speak for myself, but I can speak for my family experience as myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you when you if someone were to if I had a partner and they were to be like, I've got indigenous family now, and say I was married, and my husband and I was didn't marry to an indigenous man, I'm not married, and fucking say that happened and he was trying to say, well, I have native family now, but he was never clarifying that it was, like, he wasn't routinely clarifying. Or maybe he clarified every now and then, but he didn't, like, he would say that all the time without clarifying. That would get under my skin because it would come off as if you're trying to pretend like you have an identity that you don't for us. And that is something that we are so used to having a safeguard. It's one thing to, I don't know, I'm going to stop harping on it, but I will say that's what, and then that's something that has, like, where people are like, oh, why are you mad at that? I can see why. Um, and then there are people, no community is a monolith. I've seen some people say that the original videos themselves were not anti-black because they were factual, and I've seen some people say that the original videos were. I didn't, it's not my community to speak on, and I didn't watch it, so I don't know if if there's like anything said that I should just like know about. And but I'm just recapping, why so what you'll see, I feel, mixed opinions. And however, I will say there are specific comments that were left, particularly to other creators, where I feel like when that person is a black person telling you that you're being anti-black to them, you can't really debate with that. I don't feel like it's correct to then be like, okay, well, other people said it was or it wasn't, so let me go decide whether or not it is. Like, no community is a monolith. So if it is for one person, maybe it is for others, and maybe we should just respect that. Or maybe it shouldn't even have to be for others. Why can't we just respect it for one person? Like, And then it's because like people are like, we gotta wait till you're a statistic to care about discrimination. I don't agree with that, right? So if it's like one person of the community feels that way, can we just not respect that? So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm so sorry. I said I wasn't gonna really talk about that, and then that's the first like fucking 15 minutes of this goddamn thing. And I also said I wanted to do a quick live stream, so watch this shit be longer than the rest of it. I'm just kidding. You know I'm gonna talk forever. All right, let me roll my fucking intro, and here we go. My bad. Hi, my name is Lexi, aka Deaf Child. I'm born deaf, hard of hearing. Deafness runs in my family genetically. Speech is not fully accessible to me. My team was one of the top teams between 2020 and 2024 in New Orleans and Louisiana. I began doing business as Deaf Child in 2013, marketing 2011, and sales 2009. I've earned 50 plus certifications in marketing and sales, and I have my Bachelor of Science from Loyola University, New Orleans, with a music industry studies major and a business administration minor. Visit my site at noladeafchild.com. So, this is what we were actually fucking here for, my bad. So, Sailor Seaweed, aka Kelp. I linked their description. Let me make sure I'm getting pronouns correctly. He, him. I linked his description in the video. And wait, am I speaking? I linked his videos and his TikTok in the description of this video. I can't speak right. Fuck it. And so yeah. So the issue we have here are these pants that were ordered. Um, and the pants they're like segmented basically into what is this, four pieces here, and they're held together by safety pins. Only there's a problem. Let's let Kelp or Sailor Seaweed tell us.
However, these pants are unwearable. You can't wear them. I put these on for 5 minutes the other day because I was going to wear them out and about.
And right before I had played it, he had said the pants were cute, however. So they're not just here like, fuck these pants, these are ugly, and fuck this, they're over here like, and I feel that at this point, I sense this comes from frustration. And my interpretation of the commentary that they share is like they didn't just go make this video but without contacting customer service first. This happened as a result of um, not having a good service with customer service, and not, I don't know if I'm using the right words, but you know what I mean, like not having a good experience. And I just don't believe, like, maybe they were, but because I didn't, I'm not accusing, I'm just saying I don't know shit, but I just feel like based on what, oh god, is this another, you know what, I can't even look at this. Ugh, someone else is dressing as Matoka. God damn it. I fucking hate when these bitches do this shit. Fuck. Fuck you, bitches. If y'all do that, fuck you. Not sorry, I got real distracted. Do you see this shit though on the side here? Fuck that. But the creator that posted this, that's Vanessa. Y'all go, oh fuck. You know what? Why am I like this? My bad. Um, but okay. You know what? Maybe it was good to get that off of here. Fucking, I'm sorry. Fucking okay, so it's the safety pins.
House like this. 3 of the safety pins came out during that 5 minutes and stabbed me like pretty bad in the ass cheek or leg. And I was like, okay, that's really weird. Like, I'm really confused about why this is happening.
And again, if you want to watch this full video, it's linked in the description. And I'll show you comments in Two Shakes of a Lamb's Tail. So normally what I do is I pull up all of the videos. I let them play and I pause them and I add my own commentary. But then, like, so you would see the creators say their version in their words. I add my analysis or commentary to the scenario and then I let it play. However, I'm going to show you in the comments why I'm not doing that this time. But Kelp, if I get consent from Kelp to do that, I might. But like I normally do. But I'm not going to because Kelp wanted to make sure everything was like told from their perspective. And so go watch their videos and they're linked in the description of the video. So people are saying, when someone said she's always had not customer service in her bio, because she just added that. Oh, has she always had? Because she just added that in response. That would be crazy. And Kelp said she added that last night. That is wow. Someone said that is so disappointing. I don't know if you get but yeah, any of the drama on hairnail TikTok that reminds you of that. Okay, so for the most part here, comments are on her side. God damn it, I'm so colonial. His side, shit. I apologize, Kelp. My bad. Why am I like this? I don't want to be like this though. Like I really have a problem with this though. Decolonizing is a journey. I'm up here all the time like, gotta do better. Human rights, blah blah blah. But here I am, can't get basic shit right. You know what I mean? But you know what? But then again, perfectionism's also. But then again, it's like, that matters. Anyway, any feelings you have about me not being able to get that right? Valid. Who the fuck wants to be around someone who can't get pronouns right? Um, so yeah. So this video is also linked follow up regarding the safety pens. This one features more information. Um, highly recommend checking it out because you know what? He tells. I don't want to ruin it. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, fucking. I linked all of this in the description of the video. So because you know what? Now I'm over here like I'm not. I didn't want to watch the videos for a specific purpose, but now by recapping the video, am I doing the thing I didn't want to watch the video for? Yeah, I think I am. Go me. Anyway, fucking So the first few videos are a real-time update on the situation. And the first three videos, most comments very heavily on his side. Fourth video um, was just about um, apparently the situation ended up on Twitter. So highly recommend going to watch that as well. Um, I will disagree with this one commenter that said that this was attention seeking. Like, I hate when people say that, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so on one level, what do you mean by that? Like, obviously, the whole fucking point of this, the whole point of content in this regard is to, bring awareness to a situation. So, like, what I disagree with is acting like when you are seeking attention on an issue, it's a bad thing. It's not. You know what I mean? Just say you don't give a fuck and move on. Damn. Like, okay. So, but then a couple more go into just discussing income disparity here. I find that relevant to the situation at hand because, like some people were speaking that the poverty line can be different. Um, but I think it still speaks to how most people statistically live under the poverty line. And so most people, like that most of her audience isn't gonna be at that same income level. And I think based on the title of CEO, we could already assume that. But um, even though this is still a lower salary than most CEOs, anyway, fucking, but so a lot of people were saying that he was very nice, too nice, like all of that. Commenters are still on his side, so Then after this, they post 3-part series to the situation again now, and this is 2 days ago. So everything that we looked at before was from way earlier this year. Like what was the date here? February, the end of January, the beginning of February. Oh, God damn it. Oh, wait, no.
So, the internet's really mad at Madeline Pendleton.
Okay, my bad. Fucking. And then when the situation started resurging that I was speaking about so long in my intro, Sailor Seaweed came back out with 3 parts on what occurred again. And so these 3 parts are here. Um, and the video. So the first 2 parts, God, motherfucker. I don't want to say that word either. Okay, I don't want to use the wrong pronouns, and I don't want to say the MF word. I just did 2 things I don't want to do anymore. Okay, I apologize. He fucking, what was I saying? Shit. Okay, so first 2 parts, they did 2 parts on this again, uh, recapping the entire situation. And then third part brings us to where we are now. And this is where he brings receipts with showing the screenshots of the entire conversation that occurred. And this is what I want to review here. So before we go over this, so the conversation at hand, I left comments. Business owner, this is her fucking job. I own a marketing agency and I have a clothing line. And then I had said, may I cover your story on my YouTube channel? They said, I'd prefer you didn't. If you would like to direct people to my TikTok, that would be awesome. Seeing as I'm a content creator, I'd prefer to tell my own story. I said, will do. If you change your mind, my perspective will be on a business and legal analysis side. I'm a deaf Native woman that focuses on human rights issues and tribal sovereignty. So, back to that. I'm working on a new intro that will be coming soon. But so I still want to get some final approval of some of the wording in here. So I think I'm going to need some outside advisement from community members of that. But I just want to highlight my father. So my dad, I don't know if you can see my mouse here. So we got my dad here, my dad right here. This is my dad growing up. This is my father. So my dad is of Native descent. All right. My dad is indigenous descent there. So I've spoken on that previously. I just wanted to highlight, when I speak on some of these issues here. And then when I talk about being deaf, audiogram, okay, we're deaf. All right. Now, letting that marinate, letting that marinate. So, oh, what is playing? Ah, my bad. Okay. So, letting that descend. Letting that go. So, and then Kelp said, in that case, I would love if you made a video. However, my friend Catting on the Beach is going to post some things. I need to link this profile too. I'll link this in the description of this video. And this is, oh, you know what? I'll do that later. But I'm going to link that later. And that will be Kelp's friend. So, they said that my friend is going to post some things I think you'll find relevant and helpful from a business perspective. So we're going to have to cover this later um, because I didn't prep to cover that now. But anyway, fucking. And then I said, I want to analyze. Oh, yeah, I said, I appreciate you. If you don't want others using your content, by the way, I think your downloads are on. I think some creators might ignore your consent and your fair use doctrine because that's how I found you. Yeah, that's I found this creator because other people were sharing their shit already. And then I said, I want to analyze her role as a business, as an owner in the company, not only how each of these responses are unethical business, but also how it relates to decolonizing hierarchy and power imbalance. And then Catton on the Beach says, I had the factory report from the main place Tunnel Vision outsources to clothing if you want it. I said, absolutely. So I need to work on that. Someone asked for my YouTube. I said, love to follow it. I said, thank you. I said, it's youtube.com/daftchild. I cover a pause screen of the pants and the messages about the pants for now with links to rest of Kelp's videos. And if Kelp doesn't like it, I'll take it down. Then I said, actually, Might also just include a clip from Kelp also explaining the issues with the pants not being wearable before going into messages and putting links to all Kelp's videos on this so far. So yeah, I talk too much. So I feel like I meant to just like show you guys the videos, and then I just was like talking because I just talk too much. I gotta stop that. Ugh. Anyway, fucking. But so fucking that's why I was like so weird about glossing over. Like I wanted to show you like these videos exist where you can go find the full story. So go watch that. It's linked in the description of this video. Um, but I didn't talk about it or watch it because originally Kelp didn't want me to cover this. Uh, and the way I would fully cover it would have been to have play each of those videos and do a live reaction to it. Um, but I didn't do that because I wanted to direct you guys to the channel here. Um, and if I get consent, I might do that later. Fucking, I may have talked too much though, so that's why I was wondering, like, if me summarizing the videos defeated the fucking purpose of me not fucking doing the goddamn reaction. Like, am I even making sense? I don't know. I don't know. Fuck it. But we're here now. So let's get to the actual goddamn thing, which are the fucking messages. So now we're gonna read the messages and do a live reaction. But actually, before we get to that, real quick, I just wanted to show you guys. So I Googled what is so I had said in the comments before I'd Googled this today, like, because I just thought of her like the owner. I didn't even know her fucking title. I just knew that she was like involved in ownership or management or something, you know? Um, so I Googled Madeline Pendleton role in clothing company. And here we see Madeline Pendleton is the CEO and founder of Tunnel Vision, an LA-based clothing company, according to Penguin Random House Retail as of December 13th, 2023. Um, and I will say though, and this part probably isn't, but I don't like how, like, I know that like it's part of decolonizing language. For example, like was raised speaking about like what is your native language in terms of like instead of saying first or second language, a lot of people would say the language you were born speaking instead of first language, they'd say native language, things like that, or like, so I understand on a certain level with decolonizing, like we're just not, we don't think about it like when but on another level it's like we gotta stop calling people native if they're not actually native or indigenous, you know what I mean? Like that is something. But yeah, fucking, so then I was googling role of CEO in a business, right? And so what we get here, regarding the role of CEO, this touches on leadership, decision making, communication, public face, culture, governance, resource management, and strategic planning. So let's talk about this real quick. When it comes to resource management, they manage the company's resources and set goals and deadlines for managers. So leadership and decision making. They oversee the work of other executives and managers. The CEO can assign tasks to other people. So say a customer contacted a CEO, and it's even though it's not the CEO's role, like to actually go deal with the customer service, it's still the CEO's role to deal with decision making, leadership, communication, and being the public face. And that includes acting as the public face of the company, and that includes public communication and public relations, which can include interacting with the public. And so it would be one thing to be like, yeah, I'm not going to be the person that actually gives you the refund and has this conversation with you. That's someone else's job. That's one thing, right? But you still, it would still be your job to make sure that that person's doing it, right? And so if someone says, hey, they're not doing that, and I'm letting you know, then it's not your job to say, well, that's not my job. It is your job, actually. You know what I mean? That's by CEO, by definition, that's what the fuck you're supposed to do. Otherwise, don't be a CEO. Like, what? Like, so you just, I get not every, like, it's not everybody wants to work. That's bootlickery, right? You shouldn't have to work. That's fine. I agree with those concepts. And it's one thing to not be good at an aspect of customer service, right? Like, as a business owner, I don't like, I fucking fight with people all the damn time. And I don't think that reflects on me as a business owner. I don't think just because you own a business doesn't mean you have to be perfect, doesn't mean you have to have a great relationship with every fucking person. It really doesn't. But if if you don't treat your buyers right, if you go unethical on your buyers in the business transaction, that speaks volumes to your customers and to your value alignment and how you treat people. Um, it's one thing to, we're everybody has conflict. You're not going to be human if you don't have conflict with people. That's natural. But it's another to, when in a transaction with somebody, because as a CEO, you're in business with this person, you are literally the highest ranking executive in terms of what is happening with that business transaction. Even if it's only a pair of pants, these were like $100 pair of pants apparently. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like, you let this marinate. Like, how you treat people in business is a you problem. It's not a my employees problem. It's, you know what I mean? That's what, but we're going to get to that. You don't pass off your own the fact that you're being unethical onto to people working for you. You're not paying them to take to sweep you being unethical under the rug, unless you're a lawyer. Maybe you are, but I'm sorry I said that. Not all lawyers, just a certain type. Just a certain type. Not all lawyers. But anyway, um, when we get to CEO's role in public, fucking, we look here, we find out that they're to have several roles, including public face, communicator, decision maker, and leader. Part of the CEO's job is to communicate and facilitate with shareholders, board members, customers, employees, and media outlets. It's literally the CEO's job to communicate with customers and employees. So when a CEO is telling you it's not my job, then what the fuck are you doing in that role? Like, are you redefining what CEO means to you? Or do you just not execute as a CEO? That's what I want to know. Because I don't want to be a bootlicker, like, get back to work. But you know what I mean? Because I'm a business owner. I don't want to fucking work. Fuck that shit. But I do work all the time, all day, every day, because I'm also a workaholic. That's a hypocritical statement. I know, I make no sense. But it's like, it's like, if I am assigned a task, I really don't want to fucking do it. But I can work all day on things that I love doing. You know what I mean? Um, but I mean, I will be working on task. But when I get into like a task, like I'll get into it. If I get into my workflow, get enough coffee, get my groove, I'm fine. Like, put some music on. I got a Fawn Wood playlist. We're ready to go. I said Fawn Wood, Fawn. Why isn't the captioner getting this? Fawn. Oh my god, I said F, not S. Shit. But the captioner doesn't want you to know. Anyway, fucking. So, I just want to verify here. You see this Madeline Pendleton? It's Madeline underscore Pendleton. Madeline Pendleton. Because, there's a lot of fake accounts. You can never be too careful. A lot of fake accounts. Let's just verify. So we got Madeline underscore Pendleton. Huh. Wow. Okie dokie. So, um, now you could say, what if that's Photoshop? You know, there's always a possibility, but if it went to court, they would prove it. And so, you know what I'm saying? I don't think this, I think this is real. So that's just me. But, and the reason I said Photoshop, it just reminds me of MySpace days. Anyway, fucking people would Photoshop comments on their MySpace profiles. Days. But, okay, so Madeline Pendleton messaged him and it said, hey, do you want a DM about this? Managing comments is getting a bit hard in my notifications. If not, that's cool too. Just want you to know I was weirded out because I thought you were trying to get the designer and customer service person in trouble with me, and I hate that. Like complaining to the manager vibes. I just want to let you know that for you, what? So, while it escalated to a point where he was saying like I'm gonna just keep talking about this until you guys give me good cut like rectified situation because what the fuck um because it's not because like not a situation where you can go get an attorney over that because it's not enough money uh but like so he was just basically like you know what I mean um fucking that's all he was really doing was just like basically being calling it out because Madeline's whole platform is on trying to do better allegedly under this political system and is allegedly claims to be pro human rights, right? So when we reflect on that versus how this person is treating their customers, it doesn't really make sense because you can't be claiming you're pro human rights to put the scapegoat onto your employees' burden to deal with your unethical businesses. You know what I mean? Like, I said businesses, but I meant business practices. Eh, life is hard. But fucking, yeah. If um if Kelp was messaging or putting out comments like fuck this customer service person, they need to be fired. You know, so Kelp was talking about how unsatisfied they were with everything and has been saying no one should buy these pants because they're a fucking hazard and they literally are fucking stabbing him. But fucking the fact that you know what I mean? Like, they're not sitting here like, did you fire your customer service rep yet? No, they're not doing that. They're not advocating for anyone to lose their job. They never said that. They just fucking said, these pants are dangerous because I'm getting stabbed in my coochie. You know what I mean? Um, fucking, yeah. And so when you say, when you're not taking accountability as to someone who is the CEO of where you get the pants from that are dangerous, you know what I mean, and are harmful, and the people are not satisfied with this product, and you're gonna say, well, yeah, I know you're not happy with how we handled that, but fucking you're because you're complaining now you have complaining energy about the thing I did. I don't like it. Like it just where he talks about complaining to the manager vibes. What? This lacks accountability. This reminds me, this is like a different version. This is like the toxic, this is like the opposite version of the makeup artist who canceled on the bitch's wedding the night before. That person's not a bitch. I'm sorry I said that. My bad. Um, fucking, but when they commented on there a night before, like they left the night before, And then she was just like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with me canceling on a bride the night before her wedding for makeup. I walk with God. Only God can judge me. You know what I mean? It's the lack of accountability and the ownership. Anyway, and so Madeline said, my first instinct is to defend them. And yeah, admittedly, I'm ass at customer service. That's why I don't do it. Okay. I don't know why I have coffee now. Whoops. So I just want to reiterate, it's literally part of her job to do customer service. And if Madeline doesn't want to do customer service, her job is literally to have someone do PR for her. If she doesn't know how to speak to the public, she needs to hire someone to do her PR management. So that way they can pre-prep responses when things like this happen, right? So like my client, like I would literally just be like, okay, so if they're not good, she's not good at customer service and it's her attitude too, but she works it into her branding by incorporating the words like I'm an asshole into it, similar to what Madeline does. But the exception is we have prepared responses as her team. So we just go in with these copy paste responses, just like, here's where I'm so sorry. Like if this were to happen, I would have a prepared response for something like this in clothing for them related to. I apologize for the inconvenience. We are so sorry that you're not happy with your experience. Here is a link where you can reach out to Susie, and Susie is going to rectify this. She's going to make sure you get your refund. And do you want 15% off your next purchase? Let's give you 15% off. I'll just put some points in your loyalty program. Thank you so much. You're awesome. You know what I mean? Like, and then people, like if, or if that had been, even if that had been the initial response, or if you bump it up because the initial response didn't go well, be like, oh my God, I see the initial response didn't go well. Let me give you 30% off. So sorry. You know what I mean? And it's like a valid issue here, and there is the communication chain to prove it. It's just like, that's a no-brainer. And that's instant, like, it's gonna save you money long term. And it's the right thing to do. But the reason I led with money is because that's what most people care about. But fucking, you know what I mean? People are always like, why would I give someone a discount? That's losing money. No, no, no. Customer retention. It is cheaper to keep her. You know what I'm saying? It is 5 times more expensive to get a new customer than it is to keep an existing one, bitch. All right, thank you. Um, so fucking anyway, then Madeline said, anyway, the designer and service person saw me fighting with you and texted me to let you know they've been working on a resolution, so you should get your issue settled with them through the appropriate channels. But in the future, yeah, don't go through me personally. It's not my job. My instinct is to stand up for them, not throw them under the bus. And I very much try to distance my personal life from my job for a reason. Here's where I have a problem with this. First of all, it literally is your job. It's in the job title as CEO. So are you not CEO anymore? Did you step down as CEO? If you are CEO of that company, you're the owner of that company, that's your fucking job. That is part of it. If you're not, I apologize. I misunderstood what you represented yourself to be. Um, fucking But your instinct is to stand up for them, not throw them under the bus. Then why the fuck are you throwing them under the bus? Because in my opinion, that's all you did. You basically were just like, yeah, it's not my responsibility because it's my employees' responsibilities, but I'm not throwing them under the bus. What? That's exactly what the fuck you just did. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Uh, what? Are we having the same conversation right now? Anyway, fucking. And then Madeline says, and I very much try to distance my personal life from my job for a reason. Okay, hold up. No, 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 no. Let's. Madeline's whole fucking thing being a New York Times bestseller, I survived capitalism. You don't become an author and be like, I'm trying to separate my life from my job. However, you literally, your job was writing about your life, and then you became a public figure off of it with 1.7 million followers. Now, do I believe public figures have the right to privacy? Yes. Do I believe just because you're a public figure, strangers are entitled to have a conversation with you? No. But do I believe that when you are in the middle of a business transaction with somebody, and if you get, depending on your refund policy, if you have, for example, a 30-day refund policy, then you're still in the middle of a goddamn transaction. Or if you were, even if you were in the middle of the transaction anymore, if you're talking about a customer, someone who has done business with you, and they're coming to you because of your business, because they purchased from you, they actually like, you know, it would be one thing if this person, if Kelps didn't purchase from Madeline, and Kelps just didn't like Madeline's politics and was like, why won't Madeline answer me? This would be a whole different conversation, right? But that's not what happened here. But that's how Madeline is treating Kelp, and that's why it's, in my opinion, a form of gaslighting. In my opinion. And let's look up the definition of the word gaslighting. So, gaslighting is a type of psychological abuse that involves manipulating someone into questioning their own reality, memories, or thoughts. In my opinion, when the CEO of a company tries to convince the public that it's not their job to ensure that a successful business transaction has taken place, that could be perceived as a definition of gaslighting if it was done intentionally, or it could be perceived as this person doesn't know a goddamn thing about business. Make with that what you will. Now, also, another thing, Madeline's content is heavily based off of talking about how she's a business owner, and she's a business owner who's an anti-capitalist but still successful. You can't build your business and your platform off of saying I'm an anti-capitalist business owner, because that's a big reason, in my opinion, as to how a lot of the content went viral. And when you look at the books and everything and the press, when you make your platform off of that and then you say, but my business is not attached to my life, to me that raises red flags. And another thing, I get on one level you need boundaries between business and life, in terms of you have to have a work-life balance. You can't be in work mode all the time or you will burn out. There's only so much mental energy you have. There's only so many resources you have. There's only so many hours in the day that you can do things. And sometimes, like, I don't have nearly the amount of followers. I only have like 1,000 followers on my biggest places, which would be Facebook and my personal Facebook. I got 1,300 right now, and my Instagram, I think it's like maybe 1,400. I don't know. Um, so I have a minimal fraction of what she has in following, and then my other platforms, it's between like 100 and 1,000. But fucking, and I have so many messages sometimes, I can't respond to all of it. I've just accepted I'm not able to get back to everybody. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I try my best. It's not possible. You know what I'm saying? So I get that, like, I'm sure that Madeline with 1 million followers has way more messages than I did contend with, right? But I do understand how, as a business owner, you have a lot that you have to deal with, and there's only so much mental energy you have, and all of that. But at the end of the day, when you respond to your fucking customer who has an issue with their purchase with you saying, yeah, I separate my business from my personal life, so I'm not going to talk to you specifically about our business transaction. Um, that comes off as if you just don't fucking take accountability for your own behavior. It's not necessarily about time management because it's not the customer's job to deal with your time management. For you don't actually have to deal with the damn thing. You literally, it's just your job to make sure it gets done, and that's already your fucking job. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you not, this is what being a CEO is. This is what a business owner does. This is what a business manager does. Okay. um and again, I have not been able to find another deaf owned marketing team that started before 2013. So that leads me to believe I may be the first deaf owned marketing team that I know of in the United States of America. And I started in 2013 because there was no representation for people like me. So I don't come into this wanting to be a bootlicker. Um, I'm just here because when you have, this isn't about me saying get back to work. This is just about me saying if you want to redefine the roles of your position, that's fine. However, due to the society and the constructs of the society in which we're in order to ensure that people are getting what they pay for and that you're providing value and that there's value alignment between what you're offering and what the result is that you put out, I highly recommend that even if you don't want to perform specific roles yourself, such as PR or customer service, that you at least when you hire other people to do it for you, you let them do that job and you don't throw them under the bus and say, I'm not doing it because it's their job. You know what I'm saying? That is throwing them under the bus because it's your job to make the company look good. And when you say it's not my job to care about if my company's meeting expectations, you're doing the opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about trying to go like beat a dead horse to death. It's just also, it's just about having ethics. It's what are your morals? Do you not care about what you do to others, the consequences of your actions, the impact of what you do? You know what I'm saying? And I do understand that one of the reasons, let's tie this back to discrimination, that a lot of people don't take discrimination seriously for individuals. They wait until it's a statistic. Um, is because they don't process what you're going through. They don't care about what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? They want to wait until other people are impacted till they decide they give a fuck. Because if they take you at face value, then they have to be held accountable for their actions. It's very similar parallel, um, in my opinion. But then when Madeline's saying everyone deserves time off, we get paid the same because we're supposed to take on the same amount of responsibility. Okay, what that on a certain level, I get that these if you that everybody deserves to make the same amount of living. Income disparity is real. I believe in income equity, equality, all of that. But when we look at this and you have someone saying everyone deserves a time off, yes, then go take a day off, bitch. Like that's not the customer's job. Like if I need a day off, I just don't answer. I don't when I need a day off, you know what I do? I don't answer my fucking emails. I don't go respond to emails saying I need a day off. Bitch, what? Unless I'm just having a conversation talking about wanting a day off. You know what I mean? Maybe there's a conversation about it, but I you know what I mean? Like what? Then go take some time off, bitch. Why are you working? That's your you have that autonomy. You're making that choice. This isn't that's you don't put that on the customer. You decide your fucking schedule, not the customer. Um, you know what I mean? Then when they are saying we get paid the same because we're supposed to take on the same amount of responsibility, no, no employee should have the same amount of responsibility as a CEO. I believe all people deserve to make the same amount of money, but literally, the whole fucking point of owning the business and there being the CEO, when it comes to a chain of command, it's not about, I don't believe in this bullshit social hierarchy in terms of like someone should have more influence over other people in terms of someone matters more or anything like that. But when it comes to decision making and businesses and leadership, the reason that a chain of command is important is because of execution. Um, as a collective, you're always you're going to be very slow to move. You have to have a way to have a determining factor so that things get moved forward in a way that, I don't really believe there's like unbiased. We always talk about things needing to be subjective and objective and unbiased and all that, but I believe everything is biased. I believe in disclosing your biases personally, so people know what the fuck you're getting into. You know what I mean? But you in value aligned ways, you have people guide you that you have value alignment with. Everybody needs mentorship. My client, who's also a coach and way older than me and is like a mentor to me, literally has taught me that in terms of, it's not about whether or not you can do it. You can. You're just going to spend a lot more resources than you would if you got some fucking help. You know what I mean? It's about that. It's about, if, you know, you try to do something on your own and you don't fully understand how to do it, then you're going to make mistakes along the way. So you need people to guide you who understand the procedures or who have a directive of where the business is going to go. Um, when it comes to companies, the reason there should be a structure is so that people know what to do and so that there is a flow for execution and a workflow so people know how to get things done. And that decision making process can be however you want it to be. It can be a collective that makes a decision, or it can be a single individual. That doesn't matter. It's just like, if there is no decision making process and you're trying to say we all have equal responsibility in the decision, unless that is your answer, then you should explain that to the person. You don't say it's not my job because we all have equal responsibility. Then whose job is it if you all have equal responsibility but it's not your job? So then is it not anybody's job? Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? I could be here all day. Okay. Fucking, um, alright. I'm only 4 seconds in. God damn. Okay, so then Madeline said, and when you assume I should do more, it enforces the idea that owners somehow take on more responsibility or risk than workers and are therefore entitled to more pay, which is what we try to advocate against, hence requesting you go through the business and proper channels. Oh, hell no. No, no, no. A business owner, no matter what, does have more risk and responsibility because it's your fucking name on that shit. There's a difference between having ideology, um, and then understanding the context of which you exist legally, because what you're doing right now is throwing your fucking employees under the goddamn bus, in my opinion. Now, um, when it comes to the idea that owners take more responsibility or risk than workers. If you're trying to advocate against more pay, isn't necessarily consistent with with more pay is only a valid argument for risk in terms of it being in terms of it recuperating the any harm from risk in terms of risk mitigation, right? So by that I mean, say you own a business and you put all the money into building um, a restaurant, and you hired the contractor, had it built from the ground up, and then a hurricane came and wiped it out, and the other people didn't do that. You did that. Like, would they get? Should they get your insurance money? You know what I mean? Um, and so on a certain level, like when it comes to uh, that is the extent to which I agree that ownership does involve more responsibility and risk, and therefore, the pay for the pay associated with the responsibility and risk of ownership, right? But I do not agree with people using the risks associated with ownership to justify income disparity. I do not agree with that. I agree that it's a talking point commonly used. I see people say all the time, I take risk as a business owner, therefore I should make more money. I do see that argument used. I just think that's a stupid argument. I don't agree with it. But that doesn't negate the fact that as a business owner, you do have more risk. You know what I mean? And it's not about enforcing the idea that owners take on more responsibility. It's about the fact that if you own something, you are responsible for it. It's in your possession. You are liable for it. For example, if you own a dog, you are responsible for it. If other people live in your house, but you are the one who bought the dog, you're the one who takes care of the dog, you're the one who takes it to the vet, but then one day your dog bites somebody else, the other people in your house aren't liable for your dog biting someone else. You are. Okay, if your business goes to court, unless the other employees specifically did something to somebody that they can actually sue them over, the employees aren't getting sued. You are. Okay? Because, well, actually, you incorporated, so you're not getting sued unless they sue your corporation. They can't sue you individually. But when they sue the corporations, they typically list the CEO. Not always, but often. I'm just putting it out there. Um, fucking, all right, putting that out there. Um, Now, you advocating for against income disparity and for equal pay should not contradict your responsibility as a CEO, as a business owner. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't contradict the risk. There is more risk being an owner because that's you making the decisions that are impacting everybody else. And when you're trying to say, well, let's not normalize the idea of people owning a business or something on a let's be out of capitalism way. I agree with that in terms of when it comes to land back, we don't believe in ownership the same way. We don't, that uh, normal people, that all you people do. Like, um, I don't even like the way I'm saying. I said normal people. I don't even like that. I'm thinking of like what's normal to people though, not that if you're not indigenous, you're not normal. Wait, I'm not making sense. I can't speak right. Do y'all know what the fuck I mean? Let's just scratch this whole line. It kind of sucks, right? Anyway, not fucking how are you gonna say that? Like, what I don't like is how they will act like they're being progressive while not taking accountability. That's what bothers me. Using progressive talking points to deconstruct typical roles. Now, it's one thing to argue how things should be, but it's another to say, let's change these definitions. Now, on one level, every business operates differently, and so you don't have to have the same business structure as others. But on another level, when they're saying requesting you go through the business and proper channels, you are the business. You are the proper channel. The thing that you do to escalate a situation is to bring it to the president or the CEO when there is an issue. For example, oh my God, I love the parallel here, but y'all know about the Pendleton blanket situation. Last year, um, there was an indigenous woman who was denied service at the Pendleton blanket store. And so a bunch of indigenous people, guess what we did? We wrote the goddamn president of that blanket store. We don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Fuck that shit. And for you to be like, oh, go through the business and proper channels, that's what the fuck this person did. So why are you chastising them for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, they went through customer service and then they escalated it to the CEO. That's what the fuck you do. The next step would be legal action if it were fucking financially reasonable. Um, Now, I agree. I don't agree with colonialism and capitalism. And so, if we want to say I don't agree with the ownership of anything, I don't agree with there being businesses, I don't agree with there being money. I'm totally for those arguments. But for me to be like, yeah, I'm not responsible for executing on your marketing plan, even though I took your money to do your marketing, because I'm against capitalism. So, in order to advocate for income disparity, I'm going to take your money without giving you a satisfied result. It just kind of feels like I'm scamming you, right? Maybe I'm wrong. But it just kind of feels like I'm a bitch, right? Like it doesn't really feel like I'm being anti-capitalist in that scenario. It just, you know what I mean? Like, do you not see the parallels there? Um, yeah, I could talk way too long about this shit. And then hence requesting you go through that just really fucking what? It enforces the idea. Oh my God. So, under capitalism, owners do take risk. Anyone of any ownership of anything takes responsibility or risk for it. If I pick up something glass, I am taking responsibility for holding that thing. If I pick up a baby, I'm taking responsibility and risk of holding that baby. I could drop that baby on its head. You know what the fuck I mean? Um, if I have a baby, I have responsibility and risk of it. You know what I mean? If like I don't understand how she's trying to say ownership doesn't come with responsibility and risk. Inherently it does. So if she's saying she doesn't take responsibility um, for the risk of the ownership of her business, is this just like a self-admission? Come full circle. It's a self-admission, I think. It's a self-admission in my opinion that she just doesn't take accountability, I think. That she literally is saying I'm not taking responsibility for this shit. In my opinion. Her words, not mine. Fucking like what? What is this? If you want to be edgy, why don't you talk about tribal sovereignty and land back if you want to be an anti-capitalist? Otherwise, it doesn't really mean shit now, does it? Because it's just upholding your idea of colonialism. Settler colonizer. Um. Anyway, fucking Kelps said, yes, we can message here about it. Yeah, I would never try to get a customer service employee in trouble. I simply had no guidance as to where to seek help since I had already emailed and felt like the company just didn't care. I'm sorry if I didn't use the proper avenues to solve the issue, but I really didn't know what the next step would be. Yeah, I was trying to pause it. Okay. It says, I totally understand that. I'm just deeply disappointed that even though you're intentionally distancing your personal life from the brand, This is what people know you for, and you're inherently tied to tunnel vision and always will be unless you decide to sell the company. I think a great solution may be reiterating on the website or social media what the proper avenues are. And I want to reiterate, Kelp, you did everything right that you could. You had already technically followed the proper channels, to my understanding, because this didn't happen until after you'd already contacted customer service, and then you tried to escalate it to the CEO. You did the right thing. That's what the fuck you're supposed to do. Imagine if you go to a restaurant and most servers are awesome. I've been in the service industry for over 10 years. My twin sister is a coffee shop owner, doing a pop-up right now, and all that fucking. So I understand, like, imagine, like, having your server, like, just, say your server kept bringing you all the wrong food, and then they still tried to make you pay for the wrong food, even though you tried to send it back. You never wanted it, you never asked for it, you never got what you wanted, and now they're trying to make you pay for now they're trying to make you pay for it. Say that happened. And so your server was trying to make you pay for it. So you were like, hey, manager, let me tell you about what happened. And the manager is just like, yeah, you need to go through the proper channels. This isn't my responsibility. What the fuck would you do at that point? Because, you know what I mean? It's just like that for me. Like, what? Um, yeah, fucking no. This person did everything right. And fucking again, it's literally Madeline's job to deal with this shit. Even like the fuck. Madeline said, being in the public eye does not mean I'm not entitled to boundaries for my personal life, as I'm sure you understand. Okay, again, this is why I say it's gaslighting, because there's a big difference between the fact that you're a content creator, and so you don't owe the general public a response, because ain't nobody got time for that. I don't know if it's okay for me to say that, but nobody has time to do all that. So I understand that. However, as a CEO, when a paying customer has come to you to say, I've gone through your normal procedure, it's not going well, how can we resolve this? And you're basically like, well, you didn't do good enough job at going through my procedure, and I don't have responsibility for it, and I'm gonna throw my employees under the bus because they have equal responsibility as the ownership, and I don't want the risk or responsibility of being a CEO. What? What? Then, then maybe you would be better suited to be like on the floor and put someone else in the CEO. Since you are all equal pay anyway, you would make the same amount of money. Put someone else as CEO who actually wants to do it. You can still work there and put yourself in a different position. You know what I'm saying? That's my suggestion. Um, And anyway, and it says, I too deserve to have a life after work and be off the clock, and I should not have to do every job in the building in addition to my own. Okay, you you do deserve to have a life off the clock. Whether or not you set that for yourself is up to you. You're the CEO. You get to decide that. So you shouldn't be making other people feel like it's their fault for what you do as a CEO. You know what I'm saying? Your lack of time management isn't their fault. Um, CEO doesn't have to actually go do every single job. It No human being, you know what I mean? Once you get into the point of that level of business, when you're that big, you can't actually have the time to go do every fucking job. However, as a business owner, it is your job to make sure every single job is getting done. That's literally your only job as CEO. That's the main fucking point of being a CEO, is to make sure, because that's the whole thing. There's so many moving parts that you need somebody to track it all, to make sure it's all done. That's what you're supposed to do. So what you can do is direct them to the correct customer service rep and tell your customer service rep to fix the problem. You know what I'm saying? you put the responsibility you on your employees, like you said y'all wanted the responsibility. Then that's your employees' responsibility to make sure it's done. You don't chew the customer out for inquiring about their business transaction with you. You know, what the fuck is this? I get you're not good at customer service, but do you know how to be a CEO? Um, Anyway, it says contacting the business or posting about the business is of course fine, but holding me personally accountable? Just, oh my God. Especially on my days off via my personal account is everything our business structure opposes for many reasons. Okay, here's what irks me. The reason I own a business is because I am not able to separate myself from my business. You know why? I'm so fucking sick of people saying, "Oh, well, that's just business." And you use that to excuse their shitty actions. It's a cognitive dissonance. It's the way she distanced herself from the accountability. She's just like, yeah, no, I'm not responsible for how I make a living impacts you, because I expect my employees to take that responsibility off of my shoulders because I don't want to do it. What? What? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me. Um, I honestly, I don't think that the typical person um it is entitled to go contact any fucking celebrity and should expect their time. No. I don't think the typical person should contact any content creator or influencer and expect their time. No. However, when you purchase something from somebody, um, it's definitely expected that either you or a representative get back to them. If somebody has come to you and say, I've already gone through your typical customer service flow, so it's not like they're just reaching out to you without doing that first. They've reaching out to you because that didn't work out. Um, and you're trying to act like that's bad. That's just you not wanting to do your job, not wanting to be accountable as a business, and not caring about how your business impacts others. And if you don't care about how your business impacts others, then why be in business? You know what I mean? Like, why are you doing this then? Why be in it? Um, Acting like, like on another level too, like if every single paying customer were to contact you about every single customer service issue, you ain't got time for all that either. You know what I mean? Like that's the job of a customer service rep. So I do get that on a certain level. However, it is your job to manage complaints when they've escalated to that past customer service. And if you're not ready to do that, then you put somebody else, a customer service manager or HR, you put a middle manager or PR, you put someone else in there in the middle to do that for you. You know what I mean? Like it's still your job to make sure it gets done, even if you don't do it yourself. And you wouldn't even have to respond to the damn messages or anything if you had just made sure the thing got done. And you're the one who brought it to her DMs too. And her reaching out to get your attention as CEO on social media by tagging you publicly, that's very common. Why? Because the CEOs are the primary leading decision makers. They make the ultimate decisions. And the purpose of that being for the hierarchy, for the business flow. Okay? It is your job to deal with it. And if you are struggling with doing your job, it's your job to then work within your business production to have an employee take that role on for you. Um, and then saying it's everything our business structure opposes for many reasons. Holding you accountable is something your business structure opposes. However, you expect your employees to be equally responsible. So are none of you accountable, is what you're saying? I don't know. It makes no sense to me. And then Madeline said, however, had you not tagged me personally, people at work, including the designer, would have been made aware of your post by our social media team and been advised of the issue. Um, wouldn't they have been aware of it regardless of whether or not she's tagged? Why does that fucking matter? Tagging her literally helps push it into the algorithm and ensure that it gets seen. Wouldn't you want that? If your customer had an issue and you knew that tagging you would make sure it gets boosted in the algorithm and seen, wouldn't you want that for them so they could get it resolved? Like, what the fuck? Why are you tone policing? Um, and it acts like, oh, if you hadn't tagged me, we would fix it already. Like, what? As if that was the issue. It kind of comes off as victim blaming, in my opinion. Um, yeah, no me gusta. And then Kelp said, no, I wasn't waiting for a response. I had already received a response that said it would be passed to the design team with no effort to give a refund or anything. I apologize for tagging you instead of just the business, but I wasn't following you before this debacle, so I had no idea you didn't want to be involved with stuff like this or that you were distancing yourself. You're entitled to privacy and time off, of course. Okay, Madeline is a CEO of a business. Alrighty. Um, it's literally her job. And so it's hard for me to watch Kelp apologize to Madeline for Madeline treating Kelp like shit. It's so hard for me to see because it just shows Kelp is so nice. This is the point where I would have been, look, Madeline, you're a fucking bitch, and you can suck my fucking dick, you little fucking cunt. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't, like, the grace that Kelp has, the eloquence, the etiquette. Me, I would have been like, fuck you, you're a bitch. Take your anti-capitalist settler colonial ass and shove it up a fucking, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but you know what I mean? Like, no. So from now on, I'm just gonna call Madeline settler colonizer because fuck her. Um, I really don't like, I really prefer, I really don't like when people are literally weaponizing capitalism against people and then claiming they are anti-capitalist. What? No. Fuck you. Anyway, so, and also, like, even if a CEO doesn't want you to contact them, if you have an issue with them, I think you should still contact them anyway. And CEOs telling you not to contact them if you have an issue with their company, that's just like, no, definitely contact those CEOs anyway. Those are shady fucking people. Fuck them. It's their fucking job. You can't fucking harass them. There's a difference between filing a formal complaint with a CEO or posting about a CEO online, which you have a right to do, versus harassing them. And, it'd be one thing if, like, you know, I'm gonna just stop talking. Okay, hold up. So I think I left off with Kelp saying you're entitled to privacy and time off, of course. And Kelp then said, I'm just mostly a product of the lack of professionalism and the immediate verbal attacks instead of ignoring the tag and letting the business account handle it. Right. Exactly. Like that's what I think I said that. That's exactly what the fuck Madeline could have done. Madeline didn't need to do all this. Um and it's for me it's the way Madeline tries to weaponize anti-capitalism to be unethical as fuck. No, fuck that. And then after that, Kelp said again, I think a customer service team may have just misunderstood the issue or the severity of which the garment was unwearable, but I made no attempt to comfort that employee whatsoever. I simply wanted a refund, and seeing as you're the most well-known member of the company, I thought it made sense to tag you. Again, I see how I could have done things differently, but this really feels like you're telling the customer it's their fault for being sold a faulty item and not being able to get any sort of reimbursement. Exactly. Um, exactly. That's what Kelp said. Fucking, and Kelp literally like only said that Kelp did not get their pants issue resolved through he didn't get his Kelp I can't speak, did not get his pants issues resolved through customer service, and that they weren't happy with it. Like they were saying shit like that, and then they were saying don't buy the pants because they're fucking stabbing me. Like, but they weren't sitting here like fuck the employee, fire the employee. No, the way Madeline treats them as if discussing how they were not able to get this resolved through customer service is um, going to get customer service fired is alarming to me, because why would you come to that? Why would you connect those two if unless that was something that unless you're telling on yourself, or are you specifically trying either she's telling on herself or she's trying to gaslight, or both, in my opinion, with that, because why is that your first thought? You know what I mean? Like, would you fire someone over that? What the fuck? Ugh. um I wouldn't expect if I went to a manager and I said, "Hey, I didn't get my shit resolved through your customer service. Can we figure this out?" I would not expect or want, in most cases, unless some other shit happened, the customer service person to get fired. You know what I mean? Like what? Like I'm just letting you know why we are here now. Like what? And Madeline said, "Not at all. Our team would be more than happy to help you resolve the issue, and we accept exchanges for absolutely any reason whatsoever, which definitely including getting stabbed by pens. So, it's possible our customer service person thought you were just passing along feedback, not asking for that. I'm not sure. But it's definitely something you can work out with her. However, yeah, I am not professional and I never have been. That's, well, at least you can admit it." She said, "LOL, I struggle with impulsive control and felt that it very much was trying to get two of my coworkers in trouble, which made my instinct to defend them come out." I struggle with impulsive control too, but your impulse to think that by discussing that the customer service wasn't able to resolve this, um like no one ever mentioned let's get them fired or let's bring them down. So for you to try and or let's get them in trouble, so for you to try and spin it that way, it's just like you can't project your own shit onto other people in that way. It's one thing to discuss how your own shit is, you're projecting your own shit into reality to let someone know, hey, I interpret things this way because of, this is just how I interpret things, versus when you're using that in an argument like this to not take accountability for your behavior. You know what I mean? Um, and then I struggle with self harm like that. Well, I guess you can't. Can you tell? Huh. I guess you can't tell. God damn it. It's fucking annoying. Well, there goes that. I just dropped it. All the way down. Down again. It's fine. Nothing to see here. Wait, right. Okay, my bad. Second, yeah, no, but this shit bothers me. Uh, and then saying, honestly, made it when I don't like how she's literally throwing them under the bus and then saying, "I'm trying to defend them, but you're throwing them under the bus." Like, what? Stop trying to put the responsibility of this situation onto them and own up to it, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It says again, big reason I don't do customer service and very much one of the reasons not to come to me personally. If you don't, there's a difference between I don't do customer service and just don't do it. don't sit there and berate somebody for the fact that you don't know how to do something. You know what I mean? Like, you could have just said, my customer service rep will get back with you ASAP. Or you do. We literally did, as she said, didn't even have to fucking say anything. You know what I mean? And if you are pro the working class, wouldn't you want your customers, which is your target audience, to have their voices heard? Would that not matter? You know what I mean? Like, what? Fucking, but yeah. Then it says, but our customer service person is great and most people love her. And apparently you weren't the only person with the issue. So she and the designer were already working out well, she said rectitude, and it says recourse. Sorry, weird autocorrect. Um, so she admits that they know it's a fucking problem. Then why are you being so fucking malicious to a customer for speaking out about it? Like, what? And she didn't even say anything. She was literally just sharing like how she looked in the pants and her experience wearing the pants and how she was struggling to get the situation resolved. She wasn't saying anything. She wasn't attacking them in any way other than saying, "Hey, I'm gonna keep talking about this because these bitches ain't helping me." You know what I mean? Like, that's all she really did. And so the way that this aggression comes in relation to that is just like, wow. Um, but yeah. And then Madeline said, "Hey, I think I figured out what happened, but I don't know if you saw." And then Kelp said, "What happened?" And Madeline said, "I think we're not understanding each other because people have said after seeing your screenshot, you just provided the feedback and didn't request anything." And I think you assume someone would just offer you something in the email back. And Kelp said, "I did not share a screenshot of our email whatsoever." And Madeline said, but since our send back process is automated, the link is listed on packing slips and available online. Our customer service person just saw your feedback and was like, for it. Oh, wait, really? Snap. Someone just lied then. Jesus, people are so weird. I'm sorry. What's your name? I'll look your email up. What? This is so weird. You're the weird one here, Madeline. What the fuck? Let me just refresh this. Yeah, just refresh that. Okay. So, shouldn't. So, in my opinion, Kelp could have. So, Madeline could have already asked Kelp for their email address. You know what I mean? Or had customer service on it. I would have spent my energy doing that instead of arguing with Kelp. Like, if this happened to me, I would have contacted, I would have had my person. I would have be like, look, hey, I need you to send a message to them, let them know, um, fucking, we're working on this shit, and can you find out their email so we can look them up in the database? And so I would get my customer service to DM them, get their email, then we look them up in the database, get it sorted. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that at this point Madeline's admitting that she hasn't confirmed the email, but she's over here like, yeah, I saw your email. Bitch, you don't even know what the fuck the email is. What is that? Like, what? And then she's over here like, yeah, people just lied. Then what? So are you not paying attention to what the fuck you're talking about, or did you just lie about seeing an email? Which is it? What? Um, yeah. And then Madeline said, also for the record, the vid wasn't about you. It was about people in your comment section who cling to this stuff for entertainment and other similar situations in the past. Similar situations? I tried to make that clear by saying your concern was valid. Okay. And then Kelp responded, I didn't think I explicitly needed to say, please give me a refund. I thought explaining the issue in detail would give you the option to either refund, exchange, or replace. See, that makes sense. That's what you do because everybody has a different policy. Not everybody's sitting there going to go read it all. It's pretty standard to just be like, hey, this shit ain't working. What can we do about it? And not be like, explicitly be like giving my money back because some people are like, I'll take any option or whatever. Let me see my options. Like that's standard. That's normal. That's fine. Then Madeline said, but I guess that didn't come across. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's why I asked. So basically, I think our customer service person um, would have assumed you used the online form, then sent the email as an additional note like, hey, urgent issue for you to know. Like, wait, what? And then after that, fucking Kelp said, I'm sorry, but I truly don't believe that because you mentioned many things that were specific to my issue and you act like you're trying to be neutral and help me, but still attacking me and calling me a liar in the comments. You're so fake. Right. I agree with that shit. And here's the thing, where Madeline was saying, hey, we've got your email, and then immediately after asked, what is your email? It's one thing to say, oh, we thought this was you. Now I realize it's not you. I'm so sorry. I assumed it was you because or something like that. Admit it though. Take responsibility for it. We're humans. It's okay. But the way she tries to gaslight and act, you know what I mean? That's what doesn't make sense. Like, just own up to it. Why are you doing this? And then Madeline said, and she did pass that along immediately. And then Kelp said the emails were sent from, and then put the email. I would not have even given my well, I guess she already has it if you sent her one, but fuck, man, I wouldn't have given it to her because she's fucking gaslighting. I would have given it to customer service rep now because fuck her. But you know what? That's just me. But then Madeline said, wait, which part don't you believe? All of it, bitch. Fuck you. I'm not speaking for Kelp. That's me. My bad. Um, and then Madeline said, okay, I'll look. And then let's see what Kelp said. And then Kelp said, and put another one. And then Madeline said, I mean, original video was not about you, but your replies got me mad. So, yeah, for sure, obviously. What? How could, okay, the fact that Madeline's saying she's mad that a working class person is calling out a CEO in which a company and our customer service team have taken money for over $100 pair of pants that stabbed them and the situation has not been rectified. And after going to customer service, it was escalated to the CEO, but the CEO gaslit. And then you want to act like, and then the CEO wants to say that they're the one mad about this? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, this is why I call Madeline a settler colonizer. Um, anyway, fucking person said, I don't believe that your recent video had nothing to do with me. You know what? I don't believe that either. And I also don't believe that Madeline actually thought that email, like, if Madeline actually thought that email was from the same person or whatever, you know, I don't believe that Madeline was fucking, I don't know. I feel like Madeline is probably getting called out by other people that she's fucking over, but was trying to just act like that must have been the same person instead of owning up to different people. Because but she does admit that different. I don't know. It could be multiple things. Could be multiple things. Um, and then Madeline said, "Oh yeah, originally just like," and then Kelp said, "Because you lied and you are talking about me, but won't just admit it." And then Madeline said, "You were a mosaic in my life." Oh my God, what? What? The fuck? A mosaic? A mosaic is a broken piece of glass. That's so funny because this brings me back to the responsibility metaphor. If you pick up a glass, do you have the responsibility or accountability if you break it? Yeah. Anyway, so is this going to be a lesson on accountability, Madeline? Is that what this is a metaphor for? And then Madeline said, I mean, I did say in the video you were valid in being upset, right? And then Kelp said, I'm just so confused by the whole thing. I just wanted a refund, dude. Like, I don't even know. This is crazy. Okay, Madeline said, okay, so you just need to ask for a refund, and that didn't happen, which is why it's a whole weird, confusing thing. Are you fucking kidding me? No, it's not. Madeline is just gaslighting. Different companies have different policies. If you go to a restaurant and say, you ordered a rare steak, the steak comes out well done, and you say, hey, this is great. I did really want that rare steak. And, say it's like $100 steak. Let's say you're actually rich. I can't afford $100 steak. I'm just making shit up. Say you can afford a fucking $100 steak, and God damn, I want $100 steak. I want a steak. I just want a steak so bad. I want a rare steak. I really want a rare steak. Okay, okay. So say you've got a fucking juicy steak, nice and rare, super crisp on the outside, though, juicy, fucking. And you wanted that you ordered a rare steak. You got a well done steak, and you were just like, did I really 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 wanted a rare steak? May I please get a rare steak? Is what you tell the server. But instead of being like, sure, you can keep that, or let me take that and bring you a rare one, or anything, like instead of giving you the options, they just make you feel like shit for the fact that you said you wanted a rare steak. Wouldn't you be like, what the fuck? Like, I do understand because I'm neuro vibing, so I do understand on a certain level, like, um, communication. Like, I don't like it when people aren't direct with me because I'm like, just tell me what. I don't have mental energy to figure out what you want from me. Please just tell me what the fuck you want from me because I'm not gonna play games. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and guess. Like, tell me what the fuck you want from me or you're not getting it. You know what I mean? Um, but on another level, if someone comes to me with an issue, I don't just sit there and be like, well, tell me what you want from me. You know what I mean? Like, I sit there and I say, okay, well, here's how I can help. Or do you want me to help? Depending on what it is, right? So that's where it is. It's like the gaslighting here, in my opinion. It's not a confusing thing, actually. You're just trying to act like it is to not take to either not take responsibility because you're just that much of a bitch or because you literally don't know shit about business. I don't know which one it is. Do you not know about business or are you a fucking bitch? Which one is it? Like, because it literally cannot be both for me right now. Um, anyway, fucking, and then Kelp said, so you admit the video was somewhat about me, was it or wasn't it? And Madeline said, it was about a thing that happens to me a lot, and the experience with your video was part of it, but honestly, the part upsetting me that I was referencing were people in your comments. Okay, most of the comments are are on Kelp's side, but I didn't see people that were um too aggressive towards Madeline in these comment sections. I have seen people say some real fucked up shit about Madeline in other comment sections, even bringing up her dead spouse and shit. Not that all that was fucked up. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because other people bring it up, and it's like blowing my mind the shit that was said. So I'm like, I guess I'm processing that out loud. Maybe I shouldn't be. That could be problematic. I apologize for any harm that's causing. Um, but fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like that with Kelp's comment section, though. They were literally just like, they did get to a point where they started talking about income disparity in the situation as it relates to how Madeline does statistically earn more than over 50% of the population in quote unquote America. So she she does have more money than a lot of people here. And she has more money than the people who she's arguing with here, um, to my knowledge, for the most part, I believe. Fucking, so yeah, so that's, those types of conversations were had, as well as, but also people were fat shaming Kelp, and people were, telling Kelp she's attention seeking and things too. So, it's the internet. Like, people are dicks. So I get if you want to address some of those comments, where people are assholes, but the way that you're acting like you're being attacked in this situation, or like all of these people just come after you all the time, or like this just happens for no reason or out of nowhere all the time, is just a little weird, because it kind of seems like you're trying to get away from the main point here, which is where a lot of customers are speaking out about how you're not giving a good product. And when this one customer spoke out about it, um, you fucking went ape shit on him for doing so. And Madeline said, I felt like once we messaged, you and I were chill. What? Madeline and I got very different energies from this. And then Madeline said, I tried to say that in the video, like, your concerns are fine, but I'm begging people not to tag me in this stuff because I deserve time off. You can turn your tags off, bitch. Turn your fucking tags off. Why are you, like, acting like, what? I turn off my notifications. I don't tell people to leave me alone. I just turn off my notifications. And I'm like, yeah, I turned off my notifications. I don't sit there and be like, fuck you for reaching out to me, suck my dick. You know what I mean? Like, what? You can turn it off. You have the power to set that boundary and own it. Do it. Turn off your messages, Madeline. We all love to see it. And stop messaging other people. Fucking, um, and then Madeline's talking about I deserve time off, and I said that in the comments too. Then take time off, bitch. It's not other people's fault what you decide to do with your time. And if you don't like that this page that you grew this page to 1 million followers, you can do one or two things. If you really want to go private and take the energy to remove and block the million people, you can. It might take you a few years. You'll get there eventually. Or start a new fucking page. Go private. And you ain't got to deal with all this. You can ignore this. Never come back to it. Walk away from it. Be done. You know what I mean? You ain't got to check the Madeline Pendleton TikTok. Are you done with these notifications? They're done with you too. Like, what? It's not other people's fault for it seems like if you're burned out or having a mental energy thing, you don't put that on other people. You figure out how you're going to manage it yourself. It's one thing to go ask other people for help because you don't know how to manage it, or to seek guidance on needing adjustments, right? But you don't make people feel like shit because you're not handling it. You know what I mean? Anyway, um, and then Madeline said, like, most of this wasn't even stuff you said to me, it was other people. And usually that's how it goes. Talk to the person with the issue, we kind of get each other, but other people make it so huge and awful. Anyway, I think Madeline, what, where, Madeline just went from completely trying to gaslight this person to being like, see, we understand each other, we relate. What? What reality are you living in? This feels like two totally different conversations here. Like, where did you find yourself at all relatable, Madeline? I guess that's relative to Madeline now, isn't it? My bad. Um, And then Kelp said, that's understandable, and I genuinely felt the same way. But regardless of the intention, that last video reeked of covering your ass and trying to convince people you did nothing wrong and that I was in the wrong. Which I've already admitted, I'm sorry I tagged your personal, but there was no way for me to know that wasn't appropriate. Okay, uh, I'm just wanting to let you know right now, Cal, that wasn't inappropriate. They're just trying to fucking gaslight you because they don't like the implications of being a CEO, apparently. Like, ugh. And it's, not all CEOs are public facing figures, and you don't have to be. But, people still gonna talk about you if you're CEO. Most people, if they choose not to be a public facing figure, they just don't respond typically, or they have a PR statement or something if they choose to do that. Um, but fucking, yeah, it's the way she's gaslighting and making her feel like shit. Like, what? Um, it's totally appropriate to contact a CEO when you need to escalate an issue that is happening at a company. That is what you should do in advocating for yourself. And a CEO making a customer feel like they're wrong for advocating for themselves is fucked up. And the CEO, there's the different, like, I've been in the service industry my whole life. I've been treated like shit by a lot of customers, right? There's a big difference between standing up for workers' rights as it relates to the customer service experience versus acting like you disregarding human rights of your customers is somehow the same as standing up for workers' rights. That's not the same at all, and it's a disgrace actually to even remotely compare it. Um, so yeah. And then Madeline said, "Oh no, I mean no offense, but your video didn't have a ton of." She keeps saying vid, but that bothers me. I'm wondering if it's just short for because TikTok and typing on the phone and stuff. But video. I'm gonna say video because saying vid bothers me. But your video didn't have a ton of views, so I wouldn't need to damage control like that. That's just being underhanded, bitch. I've honestly just had a rough day. If you don't need to damage control like that, then why did you make some video? Then why did you, with 1 million followers, make a video on her if you didn't need to damage control like that? That speaks to ulterior motive. She's admitting she did not need to make any response for public relations. She did not feel she needed to make any public response for public relations for her company. But she did that personally, in my opinion. So you are saying, so why are you keep, if you don't want business and your personal life to be together, then why won't you separate it? It's because you can't separate the personal from the business. How a person acts in business is who they are as a person, and you will never convince me otherwise. And Madeline said, like, talking about it would be trauma dumping, so I won't, but, like, it's bad. Um, I, so, in June, a situation occurred with a former employer, and I felt provoked. I didn't want to talk about the situation. I told them I didn't want to talk about the situation. I was pushed to talk anyway. And then after that, I had a mental health breakdown. And subsequently, I ended up trauma dumping. And previously, in trying to get them to understand how my mind processes information, I had discussed overview that general family history. Um, a little bit. Trying to, in the accommodation area, communicate that mixed there. And I wonder if I trauma dumped too much or overshared in that regard because I don't know that line. It's a journey trying to find out how to best communicate on these things. But so like I get that on a certain level as a human being in business, you will accidentally say the wrong things to people. You know, you do. It's just we're humans. We're fucking humans first. We're not machines. Um, but This feels something about these messages feel intentional in terms of she's saying she's utilizing like she wants the customer to put their own human condition aside and put their human condition first and trying to utilize their own trauma and human condition after throwing the employees under the bus to not be responsible or accountable for treating their customer like shit. What? It's just very problematic to me. I did not think I'd be here so long on this. Um, and Madeline said, I'm just so exhausted. Fucking and Kelp said there's a way to reiterate that you don't want your personal account tagged without also continuing to be defensive. Yeah, you could turn off your tags. Just turn your tags off, bitch. Turn your tags off. It's not Kelp's fault. Look, here's what you do. Alrighty. You go to TikTok, Okay. Now what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go to settings. We go to settings. Alrighty, in settings, we have a variety of preferences here. Let's check privacy. We've got discoverability. Um, we've got preferences. We've got interactions, likes, comments, new followers, mentions, and tags. Look at this, mentions and tags. You see this button? You can turn this button off. Yeah. Did you know that? Did you know that you could do that? You learn something new every day. You really do. You really do. You learn something new every day, Madeline. You can look. Clicky, clicky. It's off. You turn it back on. Turn it up. Uh, uh, uh. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Um, imagine if, how everybody was like boycotting Starbucks? During that time frame, a lot of people were writing to Starbucks, um, telling them to divest their funds and to get the fuck out of the shit that they were being involved in and things like that, right? Um, a lot of people were writing, and the thing is, as long as it's to the business email, people gotta take that, right? Um, Now, it's one thing if she's trying to get your personal email, reach out in your personal email. However, social media account, public facing, is this, let me see if this is a business account. You're in the creator program. When you've joined TikTok and you're in the creator program, you've then monetized your TikTok account, which is a business. This is a business. It's no longer just your personal account. If you want it to be one, you would have to demonetize. Like, it's monetized. It's a business. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that Madeline could be burnt out or something. So I feel bad that that is the case. However, this also comes to mind where mental health burnouts don't absolve us from the implications of our actions during those times. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah. And Madeline said it was an honest, like, I'm so tired of the internet video. Then get the fuck off of it. Like, I log out. We all gotta log out. I'm tired of the internet too. I am very careful about how I moderate my space because I fucking hate people. You know what I mean? So I also typically also can hate when people tell me to log off when I talk about social issues online because it feels like you're just telling me to just go away or to stop existing in a space just because I see an issue with it. I don't like that. But at the same time, you have to know when to log off and take mental health breaks from engaging and socializing or in a space. You know what I mean? So there is a point where you gotta be told to log off and get the fuck offline for a bit because you're not doing well on it. And if you clearly have burnout as a result of monetizing your online accounts, then take a break. Take a fucking break. It's that easy. Um, and then Madeline said, well, I wasn't lying when I said that's something I struggle with, so that's fair. It wasn't my intention, but like multiple people have told me I can be defensive, so that must be true, and I'm sure you're correct, so I'm sorry for that. Um, well, at least she apologized. Uh, it does look like, multiple people's not, like, maybe she's finally starting to come to some realizations, here. It was good to see the apology. That's probably like, if that was genuine, if she's genuinely like getting finally coming here, maybe that's like, okay, all right, we're getting somewhere. That's like the closest to accountability that we've come here. I can't decide if it's genuine or not. Um, but yeah, fucking. And then Kelp said, I'm sorry I had a rough day, but now I'm having a rough day too, so thanks for spreading that. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Emotions really are like thunderstorms, Like clouds, like thunderstorms, like pick up water from one place, like the cycle of water, and rain it down somewhere else. Emotions are a lot like that, right? Um, And Madeline said, I'm a very on edge person. Dude, I'm sorry about that. The internet is bad for all of us, and I apologize for my role in that. I think that's why I was so confused, though, because I was like, of course you can send it back. Okay, but you didn't say that. So to just assume, like, when someone is saying, like, coming to you like with this issue, instead of, like, you know what I mean, instead of, like, how are they supposed to know if they have that option if you didn't tell them that? And so then to act like they should have just known that they could have sent that back. But then also previously in these messages, didn't you say that you do an exchange, right? So, like, okay, but I don't know, fucking Kelp said it's fine. I just want a refund. I just want you to be a little nicer. I just don't respond, or just don't respond at all. I don't know. I'm still shocked at a lot of your comments. And Madeline said, well, I'm a really aggro person. I don't know. I guess they meant aggravated. I don't know. Madeline said, I'm a fighter, not a lover. So anyway, let's talk logistics. Um, and it said, because I'm sure you and I both dislike how each other handled this. Are you kidding me? So Madeline goes from saying, see, we relate to, well, we both dislike each other. What? Wow. Like, what is this? And I get that, it's one thing to be aggravated, to be angry or whatever, to be a fighter, but that doesn't excuse accountability. So I know that Madeline apologized, but the apology being sandwiched in between the lack of accountability is just like, it feels a little flip floppy for me. And then Madeline said, and that's just life. But like logically, the thing we can do is solve your problem, and we don't have to love each other to do that, right? Like obviously, we won't be hanging out socially, lol. But this one issue and I can get through together. So, and she said like obvi. Um, and then oh my fucking god, dude, just give her the goddamn money back. Like you ain't gotta message her all this. Just you she could have spent more time going on the back end and sending her issuing a refund. It would have taken her less time to issue a goddamn refund than to type all of that out. She could have already been done with this. So why is she acting like now we have to figure this out? You just said what you have to do. Go fucking do it. Is this executive dysfunction? Is this Madeline in executive dysfunction right now? Um, And then Madeline said she didn't get you were needing recourse because you didn't ask, so she would have assumed you were sending them back already via our automated process. Um, that's one thing that's a valid explanation. If that happened, valid, that could explain the misunderstanding. If that were the immediate and only response from Madeline, I would have nothing to say about Madeline, no complaints. But it's all of this other shit where I'm just like, the fuck? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? And then Madeline said, but since you missed that, which to be honest I get because I throw that slip of paper away immediately too, probably, I'll send you the link to do it online. 1 second. And then it's a link to the exchanges. It's a public link so your partner can use it too for their order. Sorry I didn't get pronouns, just realized. And then when you send them back, just include a note saying refund, not exchange, the because defective. Like I said, design and customer service know now this is a bigger issue, not just a one-off. But just to be extra safe, include that note because we have all have brain dead days, and the person opening your package might be in autopilot mode. See, I've been working on myself not using brain dead. I still think I said it, but I feel like I'm trying not to say that shit anymore. Um, and Madeline said, and that's it. And if you want, we can both just delete our videos and agree to be annoyed with each other. But it will chill out the stress element of the day. Okay, hold up. Where Madeline is trying to act like the videos they put up against each other are remotely equal, Madeline's not recognizing the disparity at play here. Madeline has over 1 million followers, almost 2 million followers, and this is a much smaller creator who doesn't have that type of traction. You know what I'm saying? Um, and Madeline's trying to act like a customer calling out a CEO for being unethical is the same as a CEO rampaging against a customer. It's not. It's not at all. Very different scenarios. Um, Reimagining a world in which there is income equality does not mean you don't take accountability for your own actions. You know what I'm saying? All right. And then Madeline has had to chill out the stress element at the end of the day because it does feel like garbage to experience internet bullshit. The point of my vid, truly, and it takes a lot of mental health toll, and it's not fun for anyone. Video, it really bothers me the way she shortens words. Like, what? I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it does. Ugh. Just say the full fucking word. But it usually goes away like immediately when the vids come down. Video, god damn. It also usually takes a week or two to process return items, so please be prepared for that. Forgot to mention. And then she said, asking me to delete my video is crazy of you. No. And you know what? I theoretically have thoughts on ableist vernacular here, but at the same time, I kind of fucking like as someone who has mental health issues, I would feel crazy experiencing this. So I can kind of see how it got there. You know what I mean? Like, no judgment. I just, but it's still a thought. We're going to work on decolonizing and ableism and all that. Like, yeah, we can all agree there's definitely some mental health issues here, but, um, I don't know. And then Madeline said, "Oh, you don't have to." I mean, I was saying we both could, but then why don't you, Madeline? Since it's the wrong thing to do, since you shouldn't have anyway. But if you don't mind, we can leave them up. Again, the link is public. There's no, like, I don't know, negotiations. Well, yeah, because you don't know how to fucking negotiate. And Madeline said, "I just thought you said it was stressful and upsetting you. Sorry, misunderstood. Do you want me to take mine down?" Madeline is stressful and that's is the how you gaslit the fuck out of Kelp is stressful and fucking what and upsetting. And the video is too. All of it is. Yeah, you should take that shit down, bitch. And but Kelp said, I'm happy to return my pants, but my partner spent $50 buying new hardware and UV resin to permanently close them, so he cannot return his. The last email I got from customer service stated that we could keep them, but if you need me to return mine, I sure can. Um, Madeline said, oh, that's actually very cool and smart. Again, sorry, I'm not customer service. So if they said keep them, that's chill, keep them. Like I said, she's really nice and people are usually happy with her. I default to her, not me. So does that mean you're in email correspondence refunded? And and honestly, it's she's acting like she's never dealt with customer service before. It's one thing to be bad at it, but it's one thing to act like you've literally never done it before. Has she never done it before? Because this isn't just like, oh, I'm bad at customer service. This is like you literally have no sort of sense in your mind of how to have a flow with a service flow. You know what I mean? For example, you go to a restaurant, you go in, they greet you, they seat you, they might bring you water, they bring you menus, they get you drinks, then they bring you food, then they bring you the check, and then you pay, and then you leave. There's a fucking service flow. Um, but anyway, Kelp said that I'm in correspondence today. They offered me to store credit, but at this point, I would just like a regular refund, so I'm waiting to hear back on that. Madeline said, okay, got it. Um, I mean, yeah, just wait then. You should get a response when they're back at work. That was the issue you didn't have resolved then, or did they email after you posted or something? So, were you not paying attention? She's saying, uh, I just misgendered Kelp again. God damn it. Kelp is saying that fucking, today that they offered the store credit. Previously, though, when the original shit was made, Kelp had said they were not able to get it resolved in terms of hadn't heard back and wasn't made aware to my knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Um, ah, why is it? Why won't it go back? It's still playing and it won't go back. So Kelp said, like I said, my original email got the response of we'll pass it along to the design team, at which point we accepted that until we saw a comment on Insta with someone claiming they got a refund, at which point I made the first video. I emailed customer service again today and they offered me to store credit and I'm waiting for a response. Yeah, so why is other people getting refund but not Kelp? Um, and Madeline said, yeah, that was interesting too because I didn't say anyone say they got a refund. So a bit confusing. Madeline, do you not have access to your own bio database? Can you not see your own fucking refunds? Can you not check your own fucking database to see if there's been refunds issued on those pants or not? So did you check or are you covering shit up? What is this? Um, and Madeline said, yeah, but yeah, if you ask, we will work with you, but we just wouldn't like know unless you say what you're looking for. Okay, so yeah, you'll just have to wait for the response, obvi, because it's just one person at her computer. It bugs me. She doesn't say video or obviously. She just says vid or obvi, and that bugs the fuck out of me. Why does that bug me? I don't know, but it does. Um, but she will reply, again, not a conspiracy. LOL, just has to get to the emails. What's with the not a conspiracy thing? No one, what are you trying to, what do you mean not a conspiracy? You trying to act like this is a conspiracy or like that? That right there, that line where she's saying this isn't a conspiracy, it feels gaslighting, as if you're trying to act like someone else is conspiring. And then Madeline said, yeah, I mean, I guess I have never once had to specifically ask for a refund when. Oh, wait, did I just say Madeline? This is Kelp. Kelp said, yeah, I mean, I guess I have never once had to specifically ask for a refund with any company. I just express concerns and they offer what uh, what they can. I didn't know I had to specify. Never thought it was a conspiracy, weird word to use. Right. I think it's weird to act like, oh, if you didn't specify you wanted a refund when you let us know, when you first let us know there's an issue, we weren't going to give you one. Like, what? Like, and then Malin said, oh, yeah, we're a small business, so we wouldn't know you wanted anything outside of our normal procedures unless you requested it, and refunds are our usual procedures. I just want to slam my face against the keyboard right now, and I can only imagine how Kelp must have felt when this occurred. Um, I just literally, I just, I just want to do it. Oh my god, bro, what the fuck? But honestly, slamming my head against a brick wall would be more productive than having a conversation with Madeline. Like, what? Oh my god. Okay, so it wasn't until when Kelp had first contacted customer service. Kelp didn't know what the options were, didn't care what the options were, didn't care whether or not a refund was issued, only wanted to know if Kelp could get a refund or an exchange or something, what the options would be. Um, it didn't have to specifically be the refund at that point, right? It wasn't until after other people were given refunds, Kelp was like, since they got a refund, I want one too. Madeline is sitting here saying, first Madeline was like, well, since you didn't originally ask for a refund, so how could he know we wanted to fix the problem? What? A person doesn't just tell you they're unhappy with the result of their doing business with you for you to not fucking fix it. That's just unethical. Be ethical. Be ethical. Be for real right now. You don't fucking sit there and be like, yeah, I know I fucked up on our business transaction, but what do you want me to do about it? What? Are you fucking kidding? Give an option. That's where it's your job to say, here's what X, Y, or Z. And then it went to, okay, well, since we're a small business, then refunds are you have to request it because it's our normal procedure. Right. Okay. 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 I now understand how the expression "I could strangle you" came to be, because the level of gaslighting and the back and forth here. And I don't understand. Like, part of me is like, is this intentional? Are you doing this to intentionally fuck with her? And when you say this isn't a conspiracy, that's what leads me towards that. Like, why would you say this isn't a conspiracy if you weren't trying to fuck with someone? Like, or do you really struggle with processing reality this much? Because I struggle with processing reality. I'm not judging you for it. But when I do struggle with processing reality, I try to communicate. I say, hey, I need to process this. I need to respond later. I got to process. You know what I mean? Like, if you're struggling with understanding reality, you should uh, take some steps here to distance yourself from the situation so that you can process it, so that you can seek advice on it, and things like that. Like, this doesn't make sense to me. And then, um, Kelp said, so yeah, I'm chill waiting for a response. And Madeline said, but given that the pants are stabby, it doesn't seem ridiculous. Nobody wants to be stabbed. And Kelp said, well, you can sure agree on that. And Madeline said, you and I really do not understand each other. Oh, wait, God, let's go back. It is fascinating and borders on comedic. I'm kind of appreciating it. It makes sense why this happened. Okay, okay, okay. No, 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 no. Originally, there could have been a misunderstanding when it came back to the customer service didn't realize you wanted uh wanted a refund, wanted us to do anything about. Honestly, no, that doesn't make sense to me either. Where they're trying to say, or we didn't know that you wanted us to do anything about the fact that our pants are stabbing you. That's not a valid response for me. It doesn't work for me. Like what? And so to try to act like this is a misunderstanding when it's literally just being unethical is what is fascinating and comedic to me personally. But that's just my opinion. Um, and then Kelp said agreed. And then Madeline said, okay, well, we are not each other's types of weirdo. Lesson learned. But I appreciate you being a weirdo too, nonetheless. So yeah, I can take the vids down. It's video, God, ugh. If you want, or remove your comments IDing yourself. I know I have a big audience, so I don't want to send people your way for weeks. Let me know if you have a reference. Just take down the goddamn video because you're being unethical. How about that? There's a thought. What? um, and then Kelp said, I mean, that's up to you, lol. And Madeline said, I don't know, it can be intense for people with smaller accounts. I want to be respectful of that. But if you have no preference, I'll use my discretion. Again, sorry, this got truly bizarre. If it's any consolation, I'm equally perplexed, but it is what it is. What? If it's any consolation, I'm equally perplexed. I just treated you like shit, but it is what it is. This is why I call Madeline a settler colonizer. Um, anyway. And then Kelp said, I appreciate that, but I'm not gonna delete mine, so I feel like it's not my place to request you delete yours. Yeah, I mean, if it gets out of hand, I'll let you know, but I feel like I'll be alright. And then Madeline said, okay, sick. I'll maybe do it for peace of mind. I don't know. Why would you do it for peace of mind unless you does it make you uneasy to know that you are literally bringing bad energy onto people you're causing harm to? Hmm. And then Madeline said, I have a tendency to get absorbed in the internet and not be present, and my partner is annoyed with me right now. So we'll see if they win. Thanks for being my compatriot in this weird experience again. We bonded somehow, maybe, even though it's strange, and hopefully your stuff will all get worked out. But if it doesn't, please just tag the business in the future. And I think everybody should tag Madeline Pendleton if they have an issue with it. And Madeline can just turn off her fucking tags if Madeline has a fucking problem with it. No, okay, on a human rights level, I don't agree that just because you're a goddamn business owner or just because you're a public figure, the general public is entitled to you, right? However, if you're doing business with people, your customers are entitled to you. I don't look under capitalism. You can't just take people's money and then say you're not responsible for making sure that people are satisfied with the result of it. Okay? That's you being problematic and then trying to weaponize decolonizing language in order to perpetuate you being unethical. Okay? No. Fucking Kelp said, "Don't worry, babe. I'll never buy from y'all again for real." Madeline said, "Haha, that made me like actually laugh. Fair, love that. Have a good night." Like, Madeline didn't need to do any of this. And then Kelp said, "You too." And then Madeline said, "Oh my God." Madeline said, "Okay, just a heads up, I'm posting a video explaining the resolution, but if you think it's weird, DM me and I'll take it down. Not trying to rehash or start anything, just trying to wrap it up for the people." Um, and Kelp said, "Right, I'll let you know later. I'm like at a birthday party." And then Madeline said, "Sick, have fun." But yeah, fucking what? Wrap it up for the people? What? But you, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, Madeline, you want to go to privacy? And then under privacy, there's preferences. And we go to preferences, mentions and tags. Mentions and tags. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now, fucking, so I'm gonna try to remember to link Cat and on the Beach, their profile in the description here. Um, oh, here's the factory report. I'm not gonna cover that right now because I'm having some mental, like, I just, need a break. We're going to cover this later. So what I'm going to do is I will check in with Kelps about this video. If it gets taken down, it's because I fucked something up, probably. Um, and, or, Kelp just decided it didn't want it up anymore. And then after that, if Kelp is cool with it, I might do a reaction to this report right here along with the other videos that I linked in the description of this one. Um, and I will go ahead and link the report for you guys as well. So Kalps is the creator here that whose situation we've been following. He's been sharing his story with Madison Pendleton. It's the DMs particularly. So yeah. I'll see if I have permission to do a reaction to the actual videos. And so this is the profile here. And I just want to reiterate, in my opinion, once you monetize an account and people are buying from you, I do think you owe them a responsibility to have a conversation with them about if they're satisfied with that. Now, that's just my opinion. I don't think that means you have to go, listen to every fucking person. Like, if no one's doing business with you and they don't actually have an actual business complaint with you, then no, I don't think you need to worry about, like, being liable or holding yourself responsible to all of these people. And I also think as a CEO, it's not possible for you to respond to all of your customers. And that's why you have customer service. However, if a customer is escalating something to you because it didn't work out in customer service, it is on you to deal with that, in my opinion. Um, and I just want to reflect on how the ideas, it comes off not like a misunderstanding, but just like Madison or Madeline, not Madison, Madeline was trying to make Kelp question their reality because of very specific comments. Like when it came to talking about the whole boundary thing, um, and when it came to asking questions about, oh, so does this mean you want the refund or not? Or you should have known we do or don't do refunds and those types of things. Or you should have done it this way. You should have done it that way. And all of that. I don't know. That really bothers me. It feels like she's not holding herself or her business accountable for what they do. Um, and so, yeah, fucking, I could be here all day with that. And for me, I want to talk real quick before we wrap up. Last thing, like with the whole politics, let's bring it back there. I'm going to just wrap up with a little political ramble. Why is my captioner doing this? fucking, you can't sit here and profit off of the concept of decolonizing. I said profit, Profit, and then try to say that I understand on one level, when you're anti capitalist, you have to live under capitalism. And so otherwise the option is to die. You know what I mean? And so I understand that on one level, just because you are participating in capitalism doesn't mean you're not an anti capitalist. However, when you are building your business off of profiting off of the concept of anti capitalism without doing the actual work to build the community, which would replace capitalism, then you're just causing harm. It's just anarchy. It's just chaos. It's not community building. It's not progress. It's not productive. It's not helpful. It's not ethical. It's not moral, in my opinion. Um, People, particularly white people are lacking community. They don't understand community building. They don't understand mutual aid. They don't understand networking and support systems. Community building isn't just about you and the people who agree with you or work with you. And here's the thing, as a CEO, you make the ultimate hiring and firing decisions of your employees. There is the power imbalance because you can fire them at any time as a CEO if that's your job title. There's already a power imbalance. And so you have that risk and that responsibility. And when you're trying to act like, so it's one thing to not agree with the concept um, of power imbalances, but it's another to not acknowledge the power imbalance you have. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with white privilege or white, you know, whatever, white supremacy, but do I benefit from it? Yes. I'm white presenting. I look white. You know what I'm saying? Um, and let me bring up. And I just want to reiterate, how I've been thinking of this. Real quick with some pictures. So again, this is my dad. All right. So I understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, for accidentally. Fucking, I understand where it comes to benefiting from white supremacy, that I am white presenting, I look white. People don't look at me and see someone connected to anybody that isn't white. You know what I mean? Unless I am with my family. And then I am in that association and proximity to where, like, my father is not a white man. You know what I'm saying? However, I'm always, my mindset and who I am comes from half and half. I'm mixed, right? From my family's perspectives. And so I feel I understand both sides of the coin. Um, I understand family social structures from the inside under the constructs of white supremacy, as well as what it's like resisting white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? I understand having an ancestral connection to decolonized spaces. I understand what it's like to have an ancestral connection to this land pre-colonial. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people who don't have that, they don't understand community building because they never had it. They don't understand what it's like to take care of each other or to take care of the environment or to help each other. They don't understand what it's like to take responsibility for their actions and to mitigate the harm and the damage that they do because they never had to. They weren't raised in that. It's not their way. You know what I mean? Um, for me, when I use my proximity to my father to discuss social issues, and I said proximity, it is because of my ancestral connection to understanding a pre colonial way of living. If you're not connected ancestrally or in community culturally um, with people who you tokenize to build a platform off of social issues, it is harm, in my opinion. Harm. HARM. It's still harm. You can be a person connected to a community and still technically be tokenizing it, and it still can be harmful. And that's still a balance we have to work on. It's a learning journey. It's errors we will be making along the way, you know? Um, so, but the difference is whether or not you're actually impacted by the harm caused, right? And if you're of the community, it impacts you, but if you're not, it doesn't. Um, so when we talk about tribal sovereignty, we talk about land back, we talk about decolonizing, and we talk about anti-capitalism. This also roots with community building and supporting community organizing and amplifying tribal sovereignty in that regard. When you're all caught up with politics and you're all caught up with upholding settler colonialism under politics, whenever you it's good that you're at least paying your employees equally. Most people don't do that. That's so hard to find. Um, I said most. Uh, yeah, okay, no, I said that right. It's good that you're at least doing that, but that doesn't wanting to decolonize and wanting equality for all doesn't change or alter a decision making role or a leadership role in the hierarchy of an organizational structure. And on one level, hierarchies and social systems and like communities, like when they have that like chain of command, and one in some ways we are all human beings, so therefore no one is above the other in terms of no one's more important than the other. But in terms of respecting a flow for people's space and for a project, that also does come with contending. There are people who have different skill sets, and some people know more about some things than others, right? And everybody knows their own thing. Everybody has things that they know about, but then everybody also learned what they know off of the people that came before them, and so on and so forth, right? And so part of life is humans as social creatures, we learn from each other. And part of doing so involves teaching roles. And to teach somebody, you have to have understood something that they don't have an understanding of, and you have to be able to transmit that knowledge to them, right? Um, and in order to have a space of respect for someone to be able to learn from you, you have to then be considered an authority figure on that topic, because you are authorizing what someone is learning on it. Okay? Like, no matter what, there is a hierarchy or a flow to anything you do. Whether or not it's chaotic or whether or not it's organized is up to you. You know what I'm saying? Now, just because I don't agree with colonial hierarchies doesn't mean I don't see the point in understanding and valuing my elders, understanding my ancestors, honoring my traditions, right? Like, when you completely have no respect for any flow of a hierarchy, that's where people, that's part of why we don't have why we have climate change, why we don't have environmental justice. It's because people don't have respect for the hierarchy that is Mother Earth. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling. I'm not making sense. This plane is crashing. So I'm going to end this bitch. Um, Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day. I'm going to check in to see if this video is in value alignment with Kelp and team. If so, then what? Ooh, oops, my bad. Fuck, stop playing. God, fuck, shit, my bad. Fucking. But if Kelp and her friend, was that Cat? My bad. If they're cool with it, then I will. Then I'm gonna. My next video is gonna be doing a reaction to that other shit. I can't use my words. Read my mind. You know what the fuck I'm saying? All right, my bad. I'm either sorry or you're welcome for this one, whichever one applies. Thanks for watching. Join the loyalty program at noladeafchild.com/loyalty and check in during live streams to get points for rewards.